Hi everyone, and welcome to our workshop all about assertiveness. So my name is Melissa Crease, and I'm a trainee clinical psychologist. I'm currently working on placement in iCope, which is the talking therapy service based in Camden and Islington. I also work as part of the PsycUp team within the UCL Students' Union. So welcome to our Assertiveness workshop series. This series of workshops is split into 4 small parts, with the first part being looking at what is CBT and assertiveness. Part 2 will look at the types of communication styles. Part 3 will focus on tips to increase assertiveness skills. And Part 4 will look at coping with criticism and putting assertiveness into practice. So as we go through these workshops, you'll see this pause symbol come up a few times on the slides. Whenever you see this symbol, you can feel free to pause the video and have a go at the exercise for yourself as we go through. So you might have your own kind of aims and goals of what you'd like to get out of these workshops, but our main aims is to help you to understand the difference between passive, assertive, and aggressive communication styles and behaviour, to help you to learn about your own style of relating to others, to help you to learn practical techniques to be more assertive in everyday situations, and also to help you set some goals of how you'd like to put some of these techniques into practice. So today, in part 1 of the assertiveness series, we're going to be looking at what is CBT and what is assertiveness. So some of you may have heard the term CBT before, but it stands for Cognitive Behavioural Therapy. Now, this is a type of talking therapy which looks at the connections between our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviours. So the key idea behind this type of therapy is that what you think and what you do affects the way that you feel. So CBT is quite a practical and active type of therapy that helps to focus on understanding problems and developing coping strategies in order to break unhelpful cycles that we might be getting stuck in. It's present focused and kind of looks at what's keeping you stuck in the here and now. So if we look at this diagram that's on the slide here, CBT is then all about helping us to change our perceptions. So we know that what we think affects how we feel and how we act. We know that what we do affects how we think and how we feel, but also that how we feel can affect the things that we think and the things that we do. So it creates this cycle of thoughts, feelings, and behaviours. So sometimes we can become a little bit stuck in some of these cycles of thoughts, feelings, and behaviours, and they might become unhelpful or they might become a vicious cycle. So for example, you might have the thought of I'm useless or nobody likes me, which leaves you feeling sad, demotivated, which then leaves you feeling quite tired and lethargic. So then you might end up doing less and retreating sort of into your shell or cutting off from other people, not replying to messages. And then the more that we do that, the fewer good things tend to happen in our lives. And then the more we can have these thoughts of nobody likes me. So the more sad we feel, the more tired, the less we do, the worse we feel. So this is just an example of one of those cycles that we might become stuck in. So CBT then is about finding out what is keeping you stuck and helping to make changes in our thinking and the things that we do in order to improve the way that we feel. While CBT is quite often used clinically in settings such as the one that I work in with iCope, it can also be used to help you to learn more practical kind of coping strategies and techniques to help improve your general day-to-day well-being as well. And so today we're going to be using CBT to think about assertiveness. And if you're finding that your communication styles are one of the things that are keeping you stuck in one of these vicious cycles, hopefully some of the tools and techniques that we go through may be a way to help you to break that cycle. So what actually is assertiveness? We can define assertiveness as an interpersonal skill. So what that means is it's between 2 people or more than 2 people. It's a skill to communicate our needs, to communicate our opinions, to communicate our feelings, but also to communicate our thoughts and beliefs as well. Another way that we can think about assertiveness is as a behavior which enables us to act in our own interests, to stand up for ourselves without undue anxiety, and to express your rights without denying the rights of others. We can think of it as a style of communication and of something that we do rather than something that we are or are not. So sometimes people might think, well, I'm not an assertive person, or I am an assertive person. Whereas today we're reframing that a little bit as actually assertiveness is something that we can all do and we can all be. And it involves the ability to say no, to make requests, to express feelings, to initiate, continue, and end conversation. So what assertiveness is not, it's not about always winning. It's not about always getting your own way. It's not about always getting what you want. And also being assertive is not selfish. So as I mentioned before, assertiveness is not a personality trait. You can't be an assertive person, but you can act assertively. So there's definitely some people who might feel more comfortable being assertive than others, but everybody can achieve it. So why should I be assertive? So research has shown that being assertive can help to boost self-confidence, self-esteem, and also your sense of self-worth. It can also lead to more open and honest communication and conversations, which can then in turn help you to strengthen and get the most out of your relationships. It can also help to reduce stress, especially if you're finding that your communication style is holding you back and you're finding it really difficult to get what you want out of life or what you want out of conversations with people. So this is just a quick reminder that we all have rights as human beings. So take a look at some of these statements below, just to get you thinking about what is okay to do in terms of our own communication and our communication needs. So you can see that the pause symbol is here. So I would recommend taking some time to either pause the video now or take some time after the video today to write out your own Bill of Rights. What do you want to be able to do more of? And what do you know that you actually have the right to be? So for example, I have the right to be the judge of what I do and what I think. I have the right to change my mind. I have the right to make mistakes. And I have the right to say, I don't know. Now, these might be quite personal to you. So it's worth taking some time to think about what would you like to be able to do more of? And what do you know that actually you have the right to be, but sometimes it might be quite difficult to. And there's going to be times throughout the videos as we go on through our different parts where we're going to refer back to these assertive rights, just as a reminder. And also these can be used as a bit of a mantra. So in the situations where you're struggling to communicate your own needs, we can bring some of these to mind and remember that actually I have the right to say no, or I have the right to change my mind. So as I said, take some time to either pause the video now, write down your bill of assertive rights, starting each sentence with I have the right to. So that's it for section 1 today. Our next section is going to be focusing on different types of communication styles. I'll see you there.